They have 3 Lamborghinis, 5 mansions, 2 yachts, plus a multi-million-dollar salary. Can you guess who they are? They're wealthy people. We all know the upper class has enough money to buy whatever they want and get whatever they want. So why should they have the same taxes as the poor or middle class? It makes absolutely no sense for someone with a salary of, let's say, $50,000 to be paying the same taxes as someone with a salary of $500,000 or even more than that. Raising taxes on the rich would not only boost the economy tremendously, but it would help solve the inequality problems between the poor, middle, and upper class. America's economy is like a roller coaster. It's constantly winding up and down and all around. The economy has its really good years, but along with good years come the really bad years. Many people think upper class helps out the economy tremendously, and that raising taxes on the wealthy would stop the economy from growing, or it wouldn't grow as fast. Well, commentator Robert Reich explains in his 2012 article, Taxing the Rich is Good for the Economy, that our country's historical evidence proves these statements wrong. Robert claims that taxes were far higher on top incomes in the 3 decades after the World War II than they've ever been since. And the distribution of income was far more equal than it is today. Yet, the American economy grew faster in those years than it's grown since the tax rates were slashed in 1981. The rise in economy wasn't just a post-war delusion either. Robert continues to explain how when Bill Clinton raised taxes on the wealthy in 1990, that it produced faster job growth and higher wages than it did when George W. Bush slashed taxes on the rich in his first term. If we look at Germany, the taxes on the wealthy are much higher than they are here, and the distribution of income is way more equal there than it is here. Germany's annual growth has been faster than the United States ever has, though. Higher taxes on the wealthy can finance more investments in infrastructure and education, which are extremely vital for growth and economic prospects in the middle class. Also, higher taxes on the upper class allows for lower taxes on the middle class, which will give them a chance to restore the purchasing power in the economy and keep it running. Not only will higher taxes on the wealthy help boost our economy, but it will also create more equality between the 3 social classes. The middle class and lower class are known as the working classes. They work extremely hard every day, all year. But when tax day comes around, they are continuously ripped off. Meanwhile, the rich isn't even slightly bothered by taxes because the little amount that the government is asking for isn't having an effect on them. This is completely unfair and injustice of the tax system. The vast majority of Americans just can't afford to pay more on taxes. Robert Reich explains in his 2011 article, Why We Must Raise Taxes on the Rich, that the bottom 90% of our country is stuck in the mud. The tax burden on the middle has grown. Today's working and middle class taxpayers are shelling out a bigger chunk of income in payroll taxes, sales taxes, and property taxes than they did 30 years ago. It is just the opposite for the rich, though. The top 1% of nation share income has doubled over the past 3 decades. Yet, remarkably, the tax rates on the top have plummeted. These statistics and facts show how unfair the tax system is and how it is creating inequality between the social classes. Although our economy has been a very twisty and windy roller coaster, there is a way to keep it as a rising level instead of constantly falling back down. Raising taxes on the rich will lift our economy and make the financial difference in our country that we've always needed. Also, the tensions of inequality and unfairness between the 3 classes would finally be put to an end. So social sustainability would be formed and spread, and our country would be a much more fair and better place for it. In conclusion, raising taxes on the rich would boost our economy and solve discrimination between the working, middle, and upper class.